memorable performance from the bowlers in the last quarter saw Gloucestershire defeat Sussex by 41 runs in the first home match of this season's Vitality Blast. Put into bat, Miles Hammond made an extraordinary start, the first ball of the match being reverse swept for 6 by the left-hander. He took a single off the second ball, only to be left stranded mid-pitch to the third as he ran for a single that James Bracey didn't consider. And the hosts were 2 down at the start of the 4th over, Ian Cobain mishitting a short ball from Stephen Finn to Josh Philippi in the covers. Cobain was out for 9 with a total on 21 for 2, and it was left to Bracey to try to get the innings moving in the right direction. He took George Garton for a couple of boundaries as his side stuttered somewhat to 39 for 2 at the end of the 6 overs of power play. Bracey looked in good nick and continued to play his shots off Delray Rawlins. Now well set, the opener's job was to stick in and bat through as much of this innings as he could. To help that job, he had Glenn Phillips at the other end, and the Kiwi international, who made such a huge impression in Bristol last year, was soon giving the home support plenty more to enjoy. He smashed 36 maximums for the county last summer, and having carried the score to 70 for 2 at the halfway stage, he then launched into Archie Lenham, whose first delivery of the innings went the distance. That shot brought up the 50-run partnership for the third wicket, and Bracey was soon at his own half-century. It had come off 34 deliveries, of which he'd struck 7 to the fence. From the very young to the very experienced, as Ravi Bopara was the next bowler to be introduced, and he was soon learning about the power of Phillips. His second 6 took him to 27, but Bopara slowed the next delivery down to have the batsman holding out to Finn, the total on 96 for 3 after 12. To the crease came Ryan Higgins, and he wasted no time in going high and long off Will Beer, while Bracey continued to impress, his first 6 taking him to the highest score of his T20 career. But he fell in the 15th over for 70, skying to long on off Rawlins. It left Gloucestershire on 127 for 4, with 5 overs of their innings remaining. Higgins wanted to make the most of them and play something special off Henry Crocombe to clear the rope for a second time. Taylor went large in the next over too, taking his team past 150 with 19 balls to go. A final score of 200 would have been on his mind as he followed that shot up with this one, the long handle being used to very good effect, the skipper onto 21 from 8 balls. Alas, he added no more as he then thumped Finn out to Harrison Ward, Taylor fuming with himself for failing to clear the rope this time. Finn finished with fantastic figures of 2 for 15, but was not backed up by Crocombe, who began the penultimate over with a no ball which Benny Howell flicked for 6. But Crocombe kept his composure to have Howell taken behind to the next ball, the batsman leaving with Gloucestershire on 174 for 6, 10 balls to go. Tom Smith came and went quickly in trying to ensure that Higgins had the strike for the last over, run out for a brace. And the all-rounder finished things off with another extraordinary shot for 6, followed by a powerful hit to end undefeated on 39 from 22 balls, the home team ending their 20 overs on 193 for 7. The Sharks looked to the experienced pairing of Mohammad Rizwan and Luke Wright to lay the foundations for the chase, while Rizwan showed off just why he has been so successful at international level with some exquisite strokes. 37-year-old Wright bludgeoned the ball as he and his partner knocked off 52 runs before the power play had ended. Wright fell just before its conclusion, David Payne making the most of the batsman's movement to bowl him for 25, and only 3 runs came off the 6th over. Rizwan then had some fortune as he top-edged a sweep off Smith, but it had just enough on it to go all the way. And this shot off Higgins was right out of the middle. Rizwan on to 43 at the halfway stage of the Sharks' reply, the visitors at 88 for 1, needing 106 more from the remaining 10 overs. As ever, Howell amazed with the ball, his first 3 overs going for only 13 with no boundaries conceded. That meant runs had to come from the other end, and Philippe went after Higgins to bring up the 100, in over 12. Howell ensured he went 4 overs without being hit for a boundary, conceding only 19, and that left Rizwan to go after Paul van Meekeren, who he nicked behind after securing a 34-ball 50. That had the hosts in control, Sussex getting stuck and now needing 61 from 4 overs, and the match was about done when Philippe holed out to Higgins off Payne to fall for 35. It had been a superb effort with the ball in the middle overs, the squeeze having this over as a contest. The fine display continued as Garton drove Shah to a very happy Taylor. Payne ended with 3 for 22, his last 2 deliveries bringing wickets. Rawlins was run out by Bracey, making the most of a fumble behind the stumps. And then Beer edged to third man. 6 wickets had fallen for 15 runs in the space of 24 balls to turn what appeared to be a close contest into something of a thrashing. The Sharks simply sank, ending their innings on 152 for 8. Van Meekeren with 2 for 30 as he had Ward held by Phillips right at the end. The bowling unit had not only turned this game on its head, but swiftly banished the disappointment of the loss to Middlesex. Gloucestershire took this game by 41 runs, a comprehensive win in this format, and they will carry forward confidence into their next match, which is at the Oval against Surrey on Tuesday.